Hello and welcome to my 1.0 mock draft here, just following the Super Bowl. So the full draft lineup is officially set. We're gonna do 1 through 32 today. Just kind of what I think is gonna happen, not more what I want to happen. I'm gonna try to be unbiased here when it comes to my particular teams and what I think good fits are, what I think could happen. This is just my 1.0 draft. I haven't written down anything or done anything beforehand, so this is just straight off the top of my head. Gonna kind of wing it as I go. And to start the draft, we're gonna go Fernando Mendoza to the Raiders. Pretty obvious pick. Best quarterback in the draft by a long shot. Raiders need a quarterback. Gino is not it. Gino might be on his way out if the Raiders decide they want to eat that cap hit. And right after pick one is kind of where the draft falls apart for most people. It's different. A lot of teams go Arvell Reese. I think that's sort of the major consensus. Yeah, major consensus. Ruben Bain's also a very good player. I don't see Caleb Downs going as high as two. David Bailey's a great, like, pure edge rush type player, but I again don't see it going as high as two. I think the upside of Arvell Reese is a lot like some of the high one or two overall pick edge rushers of the past, just freaky athletics. As you can see, not graded super high. He played all over the place. Super athletic, super diverse. Not to make this comparison, but sort of like Micah Parsons of years past, though Micah dropped to pick 11, I believe, where the Cowboys picked him. I don't think that the Jets are going to make the same mistake, and they're going to add to their defense for their new head coach. Here at three, I think the Cardinals, I agree with this. I'm going to go Francis Mauigoa. They need a tackle to pair with Paris Johnson Jr. Mauigoa can play right tackle for them, where he played almost all of his snaps in college, played 10 snaps at guard just this year, but that's irrelevant in this situation here because he's going to be a right tackle for the Cardinals, and they're going to go Maui Noah. Titans at four. I believe this is a Ruben Baines spot. They desperately need help on that defense. Outside of Jeffrey Simmons, they have Snead, who's been whatever. I think the receivers in this class are deep, and they can go get Cam Ward some help sometime in the second round. I think this could also be a um a Spencer Fano spot if you want to reach for a tackle, but I don't see it. I think Ruben Baines the easy pick here out of Miami. Giants at five is when it's going to start to get a little freaky. I think they're going to go Caleb Downs. Um, Obviously, with Harbaugh being there now, he kind of sees a lot of Kyle Hamilton in Caleb Downs. Not literally, he doesn't look like Hamilton on the field. He's not as big. And Hamilton's maybe a little rangier than him in single high, but I think Caleb Downs and his ability to come towards the ball and play downhill and just be able to read and react is on the level of Kyle Hamilton. Maybe coming out of the draft, not where he is now. He's obviously a young player, but I think his leadership as well is going to be a big factor in him going here at five. And I think the first receiver is going to come off the board here. The Cleveland Browns are going to go Carnell Tate. They got Judy, kind of that shifty deep threat, and kind of do a little bit of everything. Not great at anything sort of player. Um, Judy reminds me a lot of like Casey Concepcion or Kevin Concepcion, and I think there's a lot of similarities there, but Carnell Tate's going to give them that big X type player who just moves freakishly for his size. And Washington here at seven is thrilled that David Bailey is still on the board for them. One of the best, if not the best, pure edge rusher in the class. He's just a freak off the edge, bendy, quick, strong. He's got everything. He's just been one of the best edge rushers of the last couple of years. And they're thrilled with him at 7. This is maybe the first Jeremiah Love spot for me. Am I going to go Jeremiah Love here? Are they done with Alvin Kamara? I think Peter Woods isn't a bad shout, maybe a little early. Carnell Tate could have been an option if he was still here. I don't like the other receiver options, just particularly for this team. Not that Jordan Tyson or Mekhi Lemon are bad players. I think Lemon gives them a lot of what they already got. They don't really need that sort of slot presence. They have that. They could have used a more X receiver like Carnell Tate. Not that Tyson can't, but I think they're going to want to go for a more surefire player. That injury history is sort of scary for me. As you're going to see as this draft goes on, Tyson might fall a bit. Jeremiah Love is going to be my pick at 8, just before the Chiefs, who would have been thrilled to get him. But I believe that they would go Jermod McCoy here at 9. If he's not available, they could be losing one, if not both of their corners. Not that they're going to let McDuffie and Justin walk, but I think they're losing at least one of those players. I could have also seen Sonny Styles. I don't see Peter Woods going here inside the top 9. So I don't agree with that. And then the Bengals here on the clock are upset that maybe Caleb Downs is off the board. Maybe the best edge rushers are off the board. But they're going to have to deal with it. And they will go. I keep talking about how maybe it's too high for Peter Woods. I like Keldrick Falk, but again, too high. I'm not really mocking any trades or anything. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Mansour Delane. I think maybe there'd be a run on corner here. Um, they have some corner play, but inconsistent. I think they could use another guy, Mansour Delane. Not we didn't see Jermon McCoy this last season, but Jermon McCoy's 2024 tape was better than Delane's 2025. Not meaning Delane's a bad player, but that's just why I think I went in this order. But Delane was the best corner in 2025. Avian Terrell has a um, really good sort of secondary option there. I think Colton Hood was also really good in Jermon McCoy's place. I think it's interesting because maybe we didn't see Colton Hood as high if Jermon McCoy didn't get injured. And if he fell in this draft, someone could have got a really big steal there. But alas, he does not. And Dolphins at 11 need a little bit of everything. I think they're going to go Mekhi Lemon. Terry Kill might not play for them ever, if not some of 2026. Waddle could be in or out. Who knows? He's there or gone. The corners are both off the board that they would have considered here at 11. And Mekhi Lemon is just one of the best receivers in the class, if not the best receiver in the class. And it's just really good fit for them. They could use a quarterback, but that's not going to be a Ty Simpson pick here at 11. Cowboys going to go Sonny Styles here at 12. I think that's just a match made in heaven. Maybe the best player in the draft. Athletic, plays like a safety at linebacker, but doesn't miss tackles, plays through blocks, uses his arms really well, and just doesn't miss tackles. He's a freak. He plays all over the field. I think one of the best, if not the best player in the draft. And then Rams here at 13. They could go a tackle, but I like their tackles. I like their edge rushers and D line too. See, it's really hard to pick for these teams that are just really good. I think they could be a Jordan Tyson pick. Not that they need a receiver right now, but their receiver depth is going to be poor. They don't have a lot of guys locked down long term, and that leaves the Ravens in a tough spot here. That I think would have been picking one of those receivers. and this is going to be my first interior offensive line spot here in the draft. Their guards are just absolutely atrocious. I mean, just really, really bad. And they could use help pretty much anywhere. Bucks here. This is gonna be a Kenyon Sadiq spot for me. Not your typical inline sort of tight end player, but freaky receiving threat. Maybe not like quite in the level of like a Brock Bowers in the past, but he gives you that prominent tight end presence with Otten probably hitting free agency. And then the Jets here at 16 are going to be thrilled to grab Peter Woods. He didn't fall because I think he's a bad player. He had perhaps a more of a poor 2025 than his previous years, not really playing more, but not really playing better. Um, he's played a lot of ball, so I think he is really refined for a college player coming out. And the Jets are really building on their defensive line to kind of combat the AFC East presence that's arising with the Patriots and the Bills. You're going to need to get to the quarterback to beat those guys. Lions here at 17. This is going to be Spencer Fano for me. That whole offense was inconsistent in 2025, and I mean the defense is absolutely full of holes as well. So you could go really anywhere here. This could have been a Cassius Howell for me as well. Um, Falk maybe, but somebody to pair opposite. They could have really used a corner, but Fano is just the best player there, and I think they can grab a corner sometime in the second round, maybe trade up early second round to get one of those guys that fell out of the first round. Vikings here at 18. Running back would be interesting. Running backs a lot of times go higher than we expect them to. Not that I think Price is a first round player, but for a team that needs that, it could be. But I'm gonna go with Avian Terrell. Best player available for them. They kind of have their edge presence set. Not that those guys aren't aging and are expensive. They may need to take some cuts this offseason to become cap compliant. But that's just where I see them going. Panthers here at 19. We're gonna go Cassius Howell. He's made it here to 19. They would be thrilled to grab the Aggie. They need sort of everything along their defense, so they're just gonna grab BPA. Cowboys with their second pick here in the first round are gonna go. Man, I really like Lee Hunter to them. TJ Parker kind of fits what they got going on. Keldrick Falk is just the best available, maybe a little bigger, helps them with the edge setting presence. They do love to talk about how they need to stop the run, so I'm going to go Keldrick Falk. Again, just they really they brought in Quinn Williams obviously because they knew they needed that D line help. They have Kenny Clark who is aging, which is why I like the Lee Hunter pick. But I think they D line is a little deep in this class, and they could grab someone early in the second round where they'll be picking. And they have tons of picks in the future as well that they can build with because of that Micah Parsons trade. We're not going to replace Micah Parsons here, but get somebody that can be sort of compliant in his place. They need the help. Steelers at 21. I'm going to go Ty Simpson. They need somebody. They still believe that they are a playoff team, and they will as long as they keep TJ Watt, as long as they have DK Metcalf, as long as they keep their kind of core players. They have I don't know. I don't want to say they have the receivers, but they have better receivers than some of these teams here down the board. The Browns aren't actually a playoff team, but the Bills, the Niners, Maybe even the Patriots. I'd say they got a better receiver core than those teams. So if they can get a quarterback, they can hit those guys, and their defense stays dominant. They'll be back in the playoffs next year. But the Ravens are going to have a bit of a resurgence, so it's going to be harder for them. They might have to make one of those wild card spots. Chargers here, just is an absolutely atrocious line. I like Caden Proctor. Not that they really need a tackle. Their guys are bound to be injured. I think Lomu is also a good spot for them. He can play either side, but with his size, he's too big to play inside. This is hard because they would have liked one of those interior guys, but they're gone. I think this will be a Caleb Banks spot here. They don't have the offensive lineman on the board that they kind of would have preferred. Pregnon maybe, but he's just not where they're picking. Like Pregnon is easily the best offensive lineman on the interior, at least that's available. But these tackles aren't guys that can just easily swap into guard. They've never played. They're too big. So here at 23, I'm gonna go. Just to keep up the Bama. No, they're gonna. I'm gonna go Brandon Cisse. Grab another boundary guy. They got their slot guy in DeJean. They got the guy on the other boundary with Quinyon, and I think they're going to solidify that sort of really young defensive back core here in the NFL, and just maybe the youngest, best defensive back core in the NFL. Here at 24, the Browns grabbed Carnell Tate early, and then I think they're going to go Caden Proctor here. Alabama offensive lineman here in the late first. That's going to be huge need for them. No quarterback they want. They grabbed a receiver. Interior offensive linemen aren't really what they're looking for. And here at 25, this is a Lee Hunter spot for me. He's massive, just an absolutely massive human being at 330 pounds. He could be a really big anchor there in that middle of that line. They've got some edge presence. They've got their linebackers, though they are sort of aging. And they have the defensive backs. They kind of just need that run stopping piece in the middle. And I think that's really big for them. Here at 26 for the Bills, I'm going to go Emmanuel McNeil Warren out of Toledo. I think that the Bills could go really anywhere on the defensive side of the ball. CJ Allen would have been a really good pick as well. And not a huge fan of Denzel Boston, where I'm going to actually send him here to the Niners here at 27. But McNeil Warren is just a fucking presence over the middle of the field. Whether you're playing him in the box or you're playing him over top, he's just massive, and he loves to fucking hit people in their mouth. And I think he's just a great presence that the Bills could really use on that defense to kind of entice and excite people about that defense. Denzel Boston here at 27 just kind of gives the Niners some juice on the outside. They want to say he makes 50-50 balls, 60-40 balls, but I think the actual statistics make it look more like he makes 40-60 balls, 50-50 balls. With his big frame, he's kind of stiff. So if you get like that Ricky Pearsall, or if Ayuk actually stays, who knows, out of the slot, then you can have Boston kind of be that over top, deep sort of route runner, which is sort of his forte. You're not really going to have him do much else. The Texans here at 26. They're going to go Cade McDonald. kind of the same reasons as all the other defensive tackles I've had picked. They've got the edge rushers, they've got the corners. They just need that run stopper anchor in the middle of the line. I was thinking about just sending a Jadarian Price here, but who knows what they think about that running back room. Joe Mixon with that mysterious injury, and Woody Marks is a player, but I'm gonna go Caden McDonald here. Rams here at 29 again, another hard pick because they just don't really need much. I might go Caleb Lomu. I do like their tackles. I think their guys that stepped in were really good. Um, they could use a linebacker or a corner. Their linebackers are kind of 50-50 to me. Hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna go Colton Hood. His average acquisition here is a little low for me. I think he was one of the best corners in college football last year. He filled in for Jamad perfectly, and if Jamad didn't get hurt, I don't know if we would be talking about Colton Hood here in the first round. And someone like I said earlier would have got a crazy steal there at the end of the first, or the wherever they got him in the draft, second, third round. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go C.J. Allen here to the Broncos at 30. Prototypical Georgia linebacker. He's what 6'1", 230, 6'1", 235. Loves to hit, great in coverage, instinctual sideline to sideline guy. Just kind of your prototypical Georgia linebacker that you see throughout the NFL. And then the Patriots might be jumping for joy with TJ Parker here at 31. Just sort of gives them that twitch off the edge at 6'3", 260. Something that they desperately need with their they kind of fill in guys there on the edge. Just a couple of older free agents that they've just picked up. And they've got the money this offseason to kind of build what they want to build on the offense. So I think through the draft they're gonna go here defense. And then at the end of the first round, the last pick, I'm gonna go. And again, just good teams that don't really need much help. They could go guard. I think I am gonna go Pregnon here at the end. It's kind of an offensive lineman, interior offensive lineman spot, offensive tackle, offensive guard sort of spot here in the last couple of years. Um, but this is going to be my 1.0 mock draft. Like I said, I didn't really plan things out ahead of time, so I was just kind of figuring things out as it went. So I might have missed some players, but this is not what I want to happen. This is what I think could happen based on team needs and just sort of information off the top of my head. Perhaps for the mock draft 2.0, I'll mix it up a bit. Might do some trades. Might get a little crazy. Do some maybe reaches, stuff like that. But I think this is good for my first mock draft of 2026. Let me know what you think. And until next time, I'll be posting these on Monday. I'm gonna do it every Monday until the draft. So we'll be getting quite a few different scenarios in. I'm looking to switch it up each time. Oh, that's weird. Miami, Ohio State, Ohio State. Fuck. 3 Ohio State guys in the top 6. Didn't even realize 4 in the top 12. Um, that's crazy. But until next time, thank you for stopping by.